one of the qualities of Karna that has been glorified is that he is a great Danaveer. What does Mahabharata say about his being a great Danaveer?
If we read Mahabharata, even at one particular place, Krishna praises him. But there were so many Danaveers in Mahabharata, like Karna. But in one particular point in Mahabharata, when Duryodhana was humiliated by these Gandharvas, even Karna leaves Duryodhana alone and he also runs away. Finally, Duryodhana was protected from Gandharvas only by Bhima and Arjuna. So Duryodhana completely he gets humiliated, and he on his way back, when nobody was there, he goes and sits at one place and decides to do Prayopavesha. Prayopavesha means until their death, they will not eat anything, they will not drink, even they stop breathing also. It is a kind of a suicide attempt. So he tries that. At the time, he was taken to Patala Loka by all the Asuras, all that they promise that during the war, each one of us will possess, some great warriors on your side. See, these are all very interesting things, Swamiji. In Mahabharata, it is all there. We have to read everything. When he comes out against it, then Karna comes in search of Duryodhana. So, seeing Duryodhana's condition, because he was feeling very sad, at that time, in the presence of Duryodhana, he takes a vow. At that time, in the presence of Duryodhana, Karna takes a vow. This sloka is there. This is not even a full sloka. It is there in Mahabharata, wherein he says that I will take shapat, that I will kill, definitely I will kill Arjuna in the battlefield. Until I kill him, whoever comes and asks me, I will not say no to them.
Why does he take that oath, Swamiji? Because of the punya that he gets, he will become powerful?
Probably, Swamiji. And there is one more thing also. I will not wet my feet also. So I don't know what is the real reason behind that vow, but he takes this vow probably to keep. See, these vows keep reminding them. So the more he gives you, the purpose of giving, I will not say no to anybody, is not told in a noble intention. He says that until I kill Arjuna, whoever comes and asks me anything, I will not say no to them. I will keep giving. See, this sloka is there in Mahabharata. So his intention behind that dana, after reading that particular question, is really questionable. But then generally he had many good qualities. Many people used to do charity. The greatness of charity is told in through the story of Mudgala also. There were many Brahmanas were also there, Rishis were also there. So we can say he is a Danaveer, no doubt. But then we have to take the entire character into account. That is more important. So.
Yes, Swamiji. So Karna we know is also, we call him as Surya Putra. So in that way, Yudhishthira is called as Dharmaraj, is a amsha of Yamadharmaraj. Bhima is Vayuputra. Arjuna is Indra's amsha. And Nakula and Sahadev also, they are Ashwini Kumar's amsha. Why is it also said that all the 5 Pandavas are actually Indra in another form, and Draupadi was Indrani in her previous incarnation, and hence Draupadi is married to 5 of them? How true is this one? Because both of them seem different views then.
Swamiji, there are various stories we find in Mahabharata said in various places. So unfortunately, one problem studying in Mahabharata, Swamiji, you don't find at one place the entire
backstory.
So there are when you read so many places, various people ask various questions, and it is all told, and we have to literally compile everything, and we should able to see it in a whole picture. If you see Draupadi, in her previous birth, originally she was Narayani. She is the wife of Maudgal Rishi. that Maudgalya Rishi was not interested in leading a family life. But she was more interested to lead a family life. Actually, it is said Narayani is the daughter of Nala and Damayanti. So, Narayani. But she faithfully served Maudgalya Rishi. So he said, you have not enjoyed all physical pleasures, all wealth, all that. You kept on serving me faithfully. I will give you a boon. You will, all that you will enjoy more when you take another birth. So in this birth, you will not enjoy all those things. But he gives a boon and he goes. Thereafter, she also does, Narayani does tremendous tapas. Then Lord Shiva appears before her. She says, Padim Dehi, Padim Dehi, Padim Dehi. She will say that, Lord Shiva, that in your next birth, subsequent birth, you will have 5 husbands. He says that. Then
is it true that she asked for 5 qualities and Bhagwan says that all 5 will not be there in one person, so you will have 5?
Yeah.
But why it can't be there in one person, Swamiji?
So she, that we will see, Swamiji. When it is said, she says that then they see on earthly plane, if I marry 5 husbands, then it is not acceptable to everybody. People think that I am a bogi. He said, you are eligible for boga and you are eligible for yoga also. You will have the yoga amsha also in you. You will have boga amsha in you. You are destined to marry 5 husbands. See, this Lord tells, and he says that, now you wait here. One Indra will come. He will ask you something. If he asks something, you take him to the mountains near that's a Himalayan province. You take him there. Then you see what happens. So same time, at the time one Indra comes to perform on yajnam on earth. So he sees a girl standing all alone. She was just crying. So Indra will ask, who are you? She will not answer. Then Indra follows, she just walks. Because she was told when Indra will come, you just follow. When that Indra follows her, this Narayani, when he follows, there he will see 2 people will be playing, I don't know, we call it this dice. It is not exactly a dice. In Tamil, we call it as a chokatan. Chokatan means a kind of with stone only, small stones. They were one young Yuva and young Yuvati. They were just playing. So they did not notice this girl and Indra coming. So they don't even see Indra. So Indra gets angry. He says, I am Indra. I came and you are just playing. You have not respected me. Do you know who am I? All that, out of ego, he claims he is very superior. At the time, that young boy who was playing that this one game, he just looks at Indra. And Indra becomes standstill. He becomes like a stone. He was even not unable to move also from that place. At that time, he will tell this Narayani to touch that form. When it touches, he just like a building break, collapses. No, like that form literally is made out of also 5 elements, Swamiji. The form collapses. And there will be that Jiva will be there. That Indra's Jiva will be there. He says, like that I have seen so many Indras. And you think that you are the Lord of everything. But actually that is Shiva only.
Shiva.
That is Parvati. You think that, you always think that if you become Indra, you are the Lord of the world. This arrogance should not be there. Like you, there are already, I have captured 4 people. You are the 5th one. Go and you will not see the light also. So in that cave, when the last Indra, actually he only becomes Arjuna. When that last Indra also goes, he earlier says there are another 4 Indras are there who claimed, who showed their ego. Then Lord wanted to, it is not a punishment.
Humble them.
He wanted to humble their ego, make them, prepare them for some higher purpose. Then finally, all 5 Indras, they apologetically, they sought forgiveness from the Lord. Then Lord says that, no, I have forgiven you. That names also there. I think one Indra name is called Vishwabhug. Another Indra is called Budadama. So the third Indra is Shibi. Fourth Indra is Shanti. The fifth Indra is Teja. So these names are also there in Mahabharata. So all the five Indras, he say that now you are purified, you have no arrogance. But then five of you need to do some, for the sake of the Dharma, you should go down to the on earth. And you will be, it is not out of karma or anything, because just to relieve the bhara of the Bhumi, because Bhuma Devi prayed to the Lord. So you will go and you will destroy all this adharma. So you five people you can incarnate. So they assume five forms of devatas.
Okay.
So each Indra, that is how Kunti, that Durvasa mantra is already there.
Yes.
So the core soul is one Indra. On top of it, one deity is also invoked. Actually, all five were five Indras only.
But then there are five
and she was
different
an
jivas.
Indrani before that. So that even though you are appear in different five forms, you are all Indras. So she is an Indrani. So when she is born, according to Maudgalya Rishi is boon, and Shiva himself gave boon. He himself gave. She will marry all of you. She will become wife for all the five Indras. So that is how she comes down and marries. This is one thing why in Mahabharata it is clearly told there are five Indras. Each one invokes Dharma, another invokes that invocation is done by Kunti. So these Indras, they come in different forms. Then Draupadi is born as Indrani. None of them are born like a human being, Swamiji. We should understand that. Therefore, these dharmas are not meant for human beings. It is clearly, repeatedly, Mahabharata says, this one woman marrying five husbands, it is an exceptional case. It is only for, this is repeatedly said. Now, no woman is born like Draupadi. She is not born in the womb of anybody. She emerged out of that Yaja and Upayaja. When they perform yajna for, when the Panchala's wife, see it is said, Panchala wife also prayed their daughter for that she should have powerful husbands. See, there are so many things are said in Mahabharata, we should read everything. She emerged out of fire.
And she grew up straight. She was born straight, full grown.
Straight away. No, she is not an ordinary woman. So that we cannot, when we cannot apply, though she physically she had a normal woman body, but then she is a yogini. So there are exceptional cases. And five Indras also not born in Kunti's womb also. So one after another they are born. It is said it is Sadhyo Garbha, sometimes it is said that. But they were all invoked through mantras.
Through the mantra. Sadhyo Garbha means what?
Sadhyo Garbha means, Swamiji, there is one place where normal people at the third month they enter into the womb. The
jiva will enter at that time.
Into the womb, and it is also called Garbha Naraka. Garbha is also called Narakam. So they have to go through that Garbha Narakam also. Some great souls, Swamiji, when they take birth through the womb, but then at the last moment, only the fetus will be the prana, everything will be there, jiva will not be there. But then that prana is enough to retain that garbha. It is said sometime last moment they will enter inside the garbha and they will be born, so that
the garbha naraka they don't go through.
For them, garbha naraka is not there. Such incidences are there. They are called sadhyo garbham. They are born. So it is called karana janma. It is also called. It is not karma janma. They are called as karana janma. So for certain, to fulfill certain purpose on earth, they are born. So these differences, at least we should, in Hindu tradition, these are all there, Swamiji. It is not a complicated tradition. It's much deeper tradition. So not everybody is born out of their own karmas. Some are karana janmas are all there. To help they come out. Not out of this one. See, these Pandavas are all karana janmas. In one place, Sanjay also, Vidura also tells, Yudhishthira says, what papa we have done, we have to go through all this. Vidura says, you have not done any papa. You have come only to take the relieve the burden of this earth. So it is possible. Therefore, much later, Swamiji, you may be having in your mind this question about Kunti also. They come, Kunti
Yes,
says
Swamiji.
that all of them
Share what you have brought.
what you have brought, because that she has been telling over the period of time, because they were in Ekachakra Nagari also, they used to go and beg.
But why couldn't the
When
Pandavas say at that time, this is not food or a thing, this is a person?
two things, Swamiji, probably one, see, Kunti is also not an ordinary lady. Whatever comes from her mouth, see, whether it is an object or a person or anything, if she says without seeing share, then they would have thought, see, they always believed in the power of Kunti's words. So there must be some reason. So a lot of discussions are going on in Mahabharata. Now, Swamiji, to elaborate all the discussions in podcast, it is not possible. But if you see Yudhishthira's actions, Swamiji, or closely if you study Mahabharata, he has taken guidance only from Vedavyasji. Up to one period of time before Krishna actually enters in their life. Actually, after marrying only they see Krishna. Until that, you don't see Krishna much interacting with the Pandavas in Mahabharata. When they were, after this Varanavata, this one, they were burnt, repeatedly Vyasa used to appear before Dharmaraja. Time to time, Veda Vyasaji used to guide him. And they knew Veda Vyasa is his grandfather.
Correct.
His father's father
Fathers,
only,
yes.
Veda Vyasaji. And they know that he is a great saint also. He is there right from creation time. Now, Veda Vyasa topic is totally different. No, repeatedly, many times he guides them what he supposed. So, his decisions are all guided by Veda Vyasaji. See, when they were from Ekachakra Nagari, when they come to know Swayambara is there, at that time Veda Vyasa appears before Dharmaputra. See, these are all known only to Dharmaputra. I am afraid whether other Pandavas are known or not. He says that you go, you marry. At that time, Veda Vyasa says, Sarve Bharya Draupadi Bhavishyati. She says, Draupadi will become wife of all five of you. This shloka is there in Mahabharata. Exact shloka, if you want, I can give. Now, Sarve Draupadi Bharya Bhavishyati. That means what? He says that you are destined. Pancha-Pandavas are destined to all the five Pandavas are married. So this you follow it. So when Kunti also says you share, so there was
it all adds up.
So actually, Dharmaputra feels for all this. He says, see, they are caught up between the present Dharma. One is a human Dharma. But then, during the Mahabharata period, Swamiji, to establish Dharma is very difficult because most of the people are fallen gods. Most of them are fallen asuras. In between, the ordinary human is also mixed. Even in the war also, that's what, the war is not fought with. Which dharma they will follow? Rakshasa dharma they will follow, or Deva dharma they will follow, or human dharma they will, because some ordinary people also there. The fallen Rakshasas also there. Their powers are different. They cannot be killed like other people are killed. They have to be killed differently. Bhishma cannot be killed just like that. Dronacharya can be. See, they all. Dronacharya is also a fallen god. Bhishmacharya is also a fallen god. And all this Karna is again a Rakshasa. Duryodhana, these are all fallen. See, the dharma is very subtle to understand. So what is dharma for me sometimes may not be your dharma. So it different person to person, places to places. So this clearly Veda Vyasa already tells Dharmaputra. Then Dharmaputra, he says it is Veda Vyasa uttered, then I should follow it. Then he agrees. When Panchala did not agree to get her daughter married to Panchala, Drupada refuses. Say, I have Arjuna only in my mind. Arjuna only won her. So I will give it only the Arjuna. At the time, Vedavyasa comes. Whenever there is a confusion, Vedavyasa comes and he takes Panchala king separately. I understand. But then this dharma is not meant for all other human beings. There also Vedavyasa says. Because you see them as an ordinary human beings, you have this confusion in your mind. And he takes him separately and shows, now you see all the Pandavas.
Those
No, he
five
gives
Indras.
Vedavyasa gives the vision to Panchala. At the time, he sees all the five Pandavas as the five Indras. And he sees Draupadi as an Indrani. And he says, you don't reveal this to anybody. I have just given you this vision. So therefore, it is right for them. But then this is not applicable. This dharma is
Should not apply to humans.
Applicable to humans. This is clearly said, Swamiji. So it is.
So Draupadi is also considered one of the Pancha-Kanyas and very great, and we should remember them. And what is the reason for that, Swamiji? Because she also goes through so much of difficulties in her life, even though she has had a past where she has done so much of tapasya. She goes through a lot of these challenges in this life.
Swamiji, if you read in the beginning of the Mahabharata, so there is a particular chapter. See, all these characters are, specified there. And their original roots, like you said that now Arjuna, Krishna Arjuna, when we say that
Narayana.
Krishna and Arjuna is Narayani Rishi. We say Balarama is Adisesha. So their innate nature is also there. They are not ordinary people. At the same time, for certain purpose
They've taken a human form.
If you see about Draupadi, Draupadi is indicated as Mahalakshmi herself. See, Indrani also is only one part.
One part.
Actually, original that one in, like we say that one dharma is also there for the Yudhishthira. Then one Indra aspect is also there. Like that in Draupadi, one aspect is Indrani. But originally, it is said that she is Amsha of Mahalakshmi herself. Mahalakshmi herself. Even in Tamil Nadu, strangely, in Tamil we say Silaikari Amman. So nobody knew what is the Silaikari. Silai means sari. So literally means sari god. Sari Amman. But that actually it indicates Draupadi. Because that sari was given by
Krishna Bhagwan to protect her.
No. So that Draupadi is, there are many temples where is even Draupadi name is not mentioned, but it will be Selaikari Amman. But that Selaikari Amman is Draupadi Amman. So she is like Sita is being worshipped along with Rama. Draupadi is also worshipped because one, she underwent the amount of humiliations, all that she underwent, I always say, no other woman underwent. And her devotion.
What are the humiliations she has gone through? If you can just tell quickly, Swamiji.
Swamiji, one that she was humiliated, in the midst of all
the court.
In the court of that, in the Sabha Parvam, one humiliation. Then during their 12-year exile period also, Jayadratha tries to abduct her.
Kidnap.
Not just abducting, he inflicts so much, physically, he tortures her. Then at that time, Pandavas were not there. She shouts, then Arjuna and Bhima, they come and they fight with Jayadratha. But before that, she underwent all that. And worst part, if you see, Swamiji, in that 1 year Ajñatavasa, where they were in Virata Parva, they cannot, disclose their real identity also. That she is Draupadi or Panchapan. In the presence of Panchapan, almost for 10 months, Kichaka, persecutes her. So 10 months, Draupadi was persecuted. Abuses, I can't say here. All physical, mental abuses. Even Kichaka kicks her on a stomach. In fact, she invokes Surya Bhagavan also. Her tapas is should be known there. She invokes Surya Bhagavan. Even in fact, Surya sends one being to protect Draupadi. That fellow fights against Kichaka. But still Kichaka, finally he has to meet in so many places. Draupadi, if you ask Swamiji, her tapas is mentioned in Mahabharata. But she clearly says that I don't want to waste my tapas to protect myself. Normally, tapasvins do not waste their tapas for themselves. I will undergo any amount of this one, but I will not waste my tapas. So he is a great tapasvin, underwent so much. No other women in this country had gone. But now I say that we sympathize with Karna. But nobody sympathizes with Draupadi. All the time we are saying that she married 5 husbands, But more than the comforts and pleasures that enjoyed, because she says that at least in this world, a person with one husband, they are very happy. But having married to all the 5 great warriors, I have never experienced any happiness, she says. But how much we should sympathize with Draupadi?
Very true.
Such a greatest, therefore she is worthy of worship, Swami. Marrying 5 husbands, that was allowed. All elderly people accepted it. Vedavyasa himself, he has accepted that. Who are we to question about it?
Coming to another episode now, Swamiji, is about, so we learnt about Karna and also Arjuna and how Dronacharya taught them. But Ekalavya, it is always said that Ekalavya also approached and Dronacharya denied him, and in fact later on Dronacharya asked for his thumb, and Dronacharya denied him because he was a tribal boy, and it was very unfair that he took away his thumb. So what is the truth behind this episode of Ekalavya, and why was Dronacharya not willing to teach? If he was teaching Karna, why could he not teach Ekalavya?
Swamiji, Ekalavya episode, it is very difficult to convince people because see the amount of sacrifice involved on the part of Ekalavya. So that part, if you say, generally we quote Ekalavya for Guru Bhakti. See, whenever we talk about Guru Bhakti, whatever your Guru asks, you should immediately, without thinking, we should sacrifice. So we have kept Ekalavya from the standpoint of Guru Bhakti in highest pedestal, that even I also personally don't want to deny. But apart from all these things, there is a general aspects are there when someone is taught these weapons, or someone is denied all that, then the military secrets are totally different, Swamiji. Even today, the military secrets are not taught to everybody, not revealed to everybody, only deserving people only. It was all given. Now, just because he belongs to the Nishad, they are all hunters. So Nishad, he was a Nishad. I don't know whether just because he is a tribal Dronacharya denied or not, that part is debatable. I do not know, because then Dronacharya was teaching it only for the Kshatriyas. No, Karna is also in all Lakshanas, they knew that he is a Kshatriya, and I said that a Suta is eligible to perform all the duties of the Kshatriya. Later, Parashurama also says that when he goes in the disguise of the Brahmana, he cannot be a Brahmana, only a Kshatriya can bear all that. So, not because of tribal, he was not denied. No, because of seeing their entire that history, the attitude, no, it doesn't hold good for all. So let us not get into that caste, this one. If you take that these are Nishadas, his Ekalavya's father name was Hiranyadanush. He was serving in Jarasandha's army. And these people are more loyal to Duryodhana already. More loyal to Duryodhana. Therefore, and Dronacharya had a soft corner for Arjuna also. So it is for the sake of the Arjuna also, Dronacharya asked his thumb. Now, whether it is right or not, all that I leave it to the people to take it. But then, keeping this in mind, in future if the war comes, military secret should not be known to everybody. That is the one reason he denies, but he blesses him. taking Drona's blessings only, he keeps that clay form of Dronacharya. He learns all.
So Dronacharya knew that his form is being kept there.
Certainly, Swamiji, there is a verse which says that he blesses him. So I cannot teach you, but he blesses him. Certainly, he would have known. But then, when Pandavas are in the forest along with Dronacharya, suddenly one dog appears and every part of that mouth is pierced with arrows. Then Arjuna suddenly he gets seeing that he suspects and Drona all that that. So finally, for the sake of Arjuna only, he is asking. But then this battle war secret should not be known to everybody. Keeping that in mind also, Drona probably would have asked, we don't know. But then another generally they say that he asked only the thumb. And in archery, they say that thumb is not the main. Normally, these fingers are all most used. Thumb is only for a support. But a person who loses thumb will lose some kind of that advantages will go. Only thing his speed is reduced. They say that. But it is also that Ekalavya is capable of practicing doing all that even without the thumb also. Therefore, out of compassion, just to satisfy Arjuna, Drona asked only the thumb. Had he asked his hand, he has not asked his hand, all the fingers are not. Probably that will reduce his ability to what weapons in fast way he would have asked. But much later, as feared, Ekalavya and all, they were on the sides of Duryodhana. Now somebody asked me, did Ekalavya participate in Mahabharata war? Means we will read in Udyoga Parva and all, where Lord clearly says that, foreseeing this great Mahabharata war, so I have already, with the help of Bhima, I have destroyed Jarasandha. Another great warrior is Shishupala. I killed Shishupala also. Dantavakra also. I killed Ekalavya also. Krishna says in Udyoga Parva that I already, because these are all the power. He gives a list of powerful people. He tells this in Udyoga Parva to. In Drona Parva also it is repeated in Udyoga Parva. It says, all these powerful warriors are already destroyed, killed by me, keeping this war in my mind. If all these people, if they are alive, then this war will become more one-sided towards Kauravas. So, saying that, we can understand that they were on the side. So, otherwise, I don't justify what Drona did. But then, forcefully, it was not taken. He asked, Guru asked, and he happily gave his thumb. So, if it is forcefully taken, unwillingly it is taken, then we have to question. Here he asked, it is between Guru and disciple. Who are we to judge?
True, Swami. Now we come to Yudhishthira, Swamiji, and we consider him as Dharmaraj and very righteous. The question also arises that was he really attached to playing the game of dice or gambling, as they call it? Was it his weakness? And why did he go there? And what were the conditions of that? Because many times it is said that certain conditions were put, like you cannot stop playing until you lose everything that you have. And so he kept on staking, people and himself and his brothers and then Draupadi, etc. So what exactly happened in that game of dice there, Swamiji? And why did he go there? Because he was also attached to it.
Swamiji, it is if you want me to give answer, it will take a lot of time. In fact, I have exclusively spoken only on this particular topic for 2.5 hours. I have spoken. And many people always take that, tell me also that I take the side of Yudhishthira. I justify his weakness. All that they say. But as I said, I have no attachment to that Dharmaputra character. If he has gambled, it is wrong. It is wrong. If he has kept his wife also in that gambling. If you ask me, all that, if you see the act of gambling, all that, I don't support Yudhishthira in all that. And he paid the price for all that one part. But the another aspect, he is really attached to the gambling. It is because of his weakness he has kept all this one. He was completely, looted of his discrimination, so that he went to the extent of, in that intoxication, or in that this one, he kept Draupadi also and played. So these are all the questions generally raised, answered. Then I have only one answer, because I strongly hold on to one particular verse in Sabhaparva of Mahabharata, and I try to justify what Yudhishthira did it. At the same time, I know that about this gambling, all that I am not supporting, but then we should read it in that light. We should see his actions. I am only, our audience also, those who are watching, I am not taking his side, but I am only asking them to see the whole thing in the light of that one particular vow which he has taken. He takes a vow. After this Rajasuya Yaga, when they were all, this Indraprastha was established by Lord Krishna with the help of Lord Krishna. He performs Rajasuya Yaga. Even Shishupala was only killed only during that period when everything was there. Narada also comes and tells few secrets to him. That Narada Rishi also visits. Narada Rishi also advises him certain things about what is going to happen. And Vedavyasa, as I told, in the case of Draupadi also, he took only the advice of Vedavyasa, he did. Here also Vedavyasa. Many places Vedavyasa, in one Pratismriti mantra also, Vedavyasa only gives to Dharmaputra during their Vanavasa. These are all there, Swamiji. In this particular case, he says that Indraprastha is established, now everything looks fantastic, but I foresee a destruction of the entire Kuru Vamsha. And he exactly points out 13 years. In 13 years of time, a war will broke out. In that, the entire Kuru Vamsha will be destroyed. For that, you will be the sole cause. So this is exactly there in Mahabharata. You will be the sole cause for it, keeping you as the main this one, your brothers. Panchali also will be a reason for that. And your entire Vamsha, you will kill your own brothers, all a huge war. There will be a great loss of humanity will happen. For that, you will be a soul. At that time, in the presence of Vedavyasa only, he takes the vow. So, Swamiji, his character is portrayed.
So, what is the vow, Swamiji?
I'll tell you, Swamiji. His character is portrayed only as Dharma. So, we have to only see that character also. He is a role model in Mahabharata only for Dharma. Other things we cannot take Dharmaputra as a role model, that we should go to Krishna. He takes one vow, says that for another 13 years, come what may. Because of me, this entire clan is going to get destroyed. Such a huge loss. Women are going to lose husbands. Innocent people are all going. So, Swami, just imagine. It is not the ordinary small war, Swamiji. It is going
40
to
lakh
be
people died.
The entire, that gets into his mind. And he sees that if I can stop it, let me put forth my earnest effort to stop that war. For another 13 years, I will not speak any harsh words. I will not go anything against whatever my brothers, including Duryodhana, all these things, whatever they say, I will do. That means what if they ask me to gamble? So I will shut my mouth. I will go to any extent to bear all kinds of things to just stop this war. So 13 years I have, from today onwards, for another 13 years, no, I will not speak harsh words. I will not go against my brothers. All that. He takes this vow. I see the act of Dharmaputra only in the eyes of this vow. Keeping the grand destruction in his mind, he says, so what? So they call him to gamble. He could have refused.
But could he not have refused? So when he lost kingdom and power, etc., if he had stopped there, and what prevented him from saying, "Ki now I have lost everything, I will not." Is it that Kauravas have asked him that no, you still have your brothers, now you stake them, so you should not stop playing? Why could he not say that I will stop here? Now beyond this, I don't want to continue.
They only say that he loses all his wealth because that when this actually he could have refused to allow Shakuni to play. When Duryodhana, instead of Duryodhana, Shakuni plays. Shakuni is expert in Akshavidya.
So if you can tell us that, Swamiji, actually what was that played? Is it because many people think it is like the game of dice and Chaucer?
That that coin, that particular, what do you call that?
The dice only.
Dice only. That has gone into the hands of Shakuni.
It starts with Shakuni only.
Then Shakuni will put something, he has some number he has to say. They will stake some wealth. Then Shakuni will say Jitam. The only Jitam. Till the end, that coin never came to the hands of Yudhishthira at all. Yudhishthira never played.
So the dice was always with Shakuni.
Always with Shakuni, Swamiji.
And there is no coins, they are not moving, nothing. It's only dice and number we have to guess.
It should be that only, Swamiji. It isn't moving or anything. So it should be only numbers. And he knew that Akshavidya, which this fellow Yudhishthira did not have that complete knowledge. So he lost everything. Finally, he says that, there are smritis, they say that one should not keep their land also. See, there are smritis will say land should not be gambled, relatives should not be brothers. These are all not, only objects should be kept, not people. Even land is also object. One should not gamble. But Swamiji, when you gamble under all these rules doesn't apply. Therefore, it is called. But what happens is, when it is over, they could have stopped it. But they only say that you keep your brothers also. No, I don't think.
But he is a Dharmaraj, no, Swamiji. He knows so much of Dharma. Still.
But my only justification, Swamiji, keeping that, 13 years after that war in mind, he thought, if I get humiliated, so what? If my brothers get humiliated, even I am ready to go to any extent of losing everything, all humiliation, everything. But then at least, if this pleases them, let it please them. If they want to have all my kingdom, they are happy by taking all my wealth, let them be happy. By humiliating me, if they are happy, let them. At least for 13 years, I will put up with these people. Somewhere at some point of time, he thought, at least after so many years of enjoying, some point of time, if we sacrifice, they will change. He would have thought, so that I would not become the cause for this war. But what he thought, that it did not happen. But his reason for I don't think it is a weakness. Just he took this vow. Now Kshatriyas, when they take vow, he said, he was ready to go through to any amount of humiliation. Finally, he thought all this, if it satisfies them at one day or other, if they realize, and if they give back later, he thought this war will not happen. That's what actually, when all this has happened, Swamiji, they are left also. They said they were allowed to go also.
So how did that happen, Swamiji?
Again, what happened, Swamiji?
How did they get back everything, Swamiji?
Who?
When first time they lose, then Draupadi is also humiliated.
Yeah.
Krishna Bhagwan comes and saves her. How does it come back to Pandavas?
It is all when all these things happen, Swamiji. At that time, even Drona doesn't raise his voice.
No.
He speaks, the Bhishmacharya speaks, but then he doesn't speak in the most convincing way. Draupadi pleads, because first he lost himself and then he lost me, or after losing me he lost himself. All these questions and all raised. That is one part, but that is nothing to do. We are discussing about the Dharmaputra. Finally, Swamiji, when all this humiliation, everything is got, then Sanjaya, Vidura, they get into the act. They said, it is going beyond the limits. Now, too, they are all our own people. They are Pandu's children. They are our own children. Now, we should settle everything. No, it has all started as a game, but then it went into the extreme.
But they are telling this among themselves, or they told to Dhritarashtra?
They told to Dhritarashtra. Then finally Dhritarashtra also, then he says, now, then Dhritarashtra calls Yudhishthira. He apologizes for all that has happened. Now said, you just take back all your kingdom, whatever you have lost. You forget the whole incident, you just forget it, that it has not happened. Now, happened is happened. Now you happily go and live. And they were left.
Is it also true that some versions, people say that Gandhari comes to know, and then she advises Dhritarashtra that, the curse of Draupadi is there and the whole Kuruvamsha will die. You better return everything to her. Some versions like that also people are saying. And so because of that fear of what Draupadi says, your entire Vamsha will, because nobody stood up to defend her, it will perish.
Gandhari, the first time when Gandhari meets Draupadi itself, she knew that all her sons are going to die because of Draupadi. Because she was also not ordinary woman. She also had all the tapas. Many times she advises Duryodhana also, but not much is told in Mahabharata. But in this particular incident, it is all decided by everybody, collective decision. Then Dhritarashtra gives all that kingdom. They were allowed to go. But see, this Dhritarashtra, peculiar character, when Bhishmacharya, Vidura, all these people are there, he will say yes to them. He will totally say okay. He has his own standpoint. The moment this side Duchasana, Karna and Shakuni, all Duryodhana, they come and tell him, he will immediately yield to their words. The moment all these people go, they are also gone. Then even Karna also. Now we speak so high about Karna, but we should know what are all the injustice being by that. That Krishna gives the list much later in Mahabharata. He is the one who instigates Duryodhana to
bring Draupadi.
Bring Draupadi and remove her sari. Now we say so high about him. This was instigated by them. Not only that, he says that now all your husbands are dead. No, we say that he is insulted, but in front of everybody, she is a woman, not ordinary woman. She is a queen. She's their own queen, their own this
wife. And
instead of respect, he will say in front of everybody, now all your 5 husbands are dead. You choose anybody as your husband. Now you can marry anybody. Now you go and sit in the lap of... See, these are all the word a cultured person will talk. Now what we will justify? We cannot justify all that. All these 4 people, again they brainwash Dhritarashtra. Then one time, because they said they are going with all this anger, they will not spare us. They will definitely kill us. And I cannot tolerate Bhima's wrath. Now Bhima will come and he laments.
Bhima took an oath, Swamiji, that is real, that I will drink your blood, and Draupadi left her hair open.
He does it also. But only thing he says that I didn't drink the milk. Blood, sorry. I didn't drink the blood. I took that oath, I took that blood nearer to my mouth and I just smelled. But then I know that is forbidden act, drinking somebody's blood. I did not do it. But Krishna also, he scolds him for doing, sir. He kicks Duchasana's head and all that. He criticizes, he scolds Bhima for all that. This, when they say that at least one, now you call, we will settle this issue, because the issue is not settled. Now we will, once for all, we will settle it. Only once we will play, staking everything out. If they win, we will go to the forest. If we win, they should go to the...
But that is not going to settle the issue, no, Swamiji, because there again, after 12 years, either party will have a trouble.
The thing is, they thought that in these 12 years, when they are in the forest,
we'll finish them.
All the power will be on their side. So always mind, things for so many other ways, no, Swamiji. He doesn't want permanent solution, no. It looks for only the temporary time being solutions only. See, the mind always tries to escape. It doesn't want to face the real problem and find the solutions. Then this would not have happened, no, Swamiji, if mind thinks that way.
So second time when they sit, Swamiji, why does Yudhishthira not say, I will throw the dice
So
now?
that cannot be said. That cannot be said, I will only throw, because they have already won. They only invited. The one who invites, he only always, the coin is always only with them. See, if he invites, they are only inviting. He is only yielding to their invitation. So the person who invites only always, the coin is always with him.
It is always said that Shakuni had that power also because, the conspiracy theory is there, no, Swamiji, that Bhishma went and asked for Gandhari's hand for Dhritarashtra, and Dhritarashtra is a blind king. So Shakuni felt insulted and he was plotting the fall of full Kuru dynasty, and he took one sword, knife, and he punctured his thigh. So that's why he is limping. And also that his father was put in jail and he was struggling there. And with the bones of his father, those dice were made, and so the bones were in his the dice was in his control, and so the whole game of dice, everything was actually Shakuni's plan to destroy the Kauravas.
So I also read about it in many of the movies. Also, I have seen, but exactly, I don't remember anywhere in Mahabharata, Vyasa Mahabharata,
It
these
is not
things are
said.
all not, to my knowledge, Swamiji, at least to my knowledge, nowhere this particular plot of Shakuni is not anywhere narrated. Because related to these Mahabharata stories, we find so many other part in Puranas are all written. But original Vyasa Bharata,
This
to
is
my
not there.
knowledge, this is not there. It is only Aksha Vidya. About that, Aksha Vidya is there. The one who has mastered that Aksha Vidya, now that is a special Vidya. The Aksha Vidya is not only about gambling. This Aksha Vidya is about Sankhya. It is also called Sankhya Vidya. It is called a particular, knowledge on the numbers. Now, the person who possesses this Aksha Vidya, not only in gambling, if he looks at the tree, immediately he can say that how many dry leaves are there, how many fresh leaves are there, and he in a moment looking at a tree, how many fruits are there, any calculations, any sankhya, any number calculations, Swamiji, that is Aksha Vidya. Actually, in this Aksha Vidya, that Karkota in Nala story also, when Karkota bites Nala, because Nala also loses in gambling only, no. Then that Karkota this, because you did not know this Aksha Vidya, you lost everything. At least now you go. There is a king called Rutuparna. Rutuparna is expert in Aksha Vidya. You go and join as his charioteer, and he doesn't know Ashwa Vidya. But Nala is expert in Ashwa Vidya. So that you give your Ashwa Vidya and you take Aksha Vidya from at that time, in one particular place, Nala sees him, Rutuparna telling all this calculation in a tree. But then he was able to ride the horses very fast, which Rutuparna was surprised. So these interchanges. So this part of Shakuni, I don't know, but certainly it is said
Aksha
that he had that Aksha Vidya. Much later, there was one Rishi, Brigadashva Rishi. He blesses Dharmaputra with this Aksha Vidya. Because of this Aksha Vidya only, without having you lost it, now I am giving you this knowledge. In during their Vanavasa, he gets that knowledge from Aksha Vidya. So I am not justifying Yudhishthira's act, but this 13 years, the whole episode, he said that, and he tries to extend it beyond 13 years where Krishna steps in. Because 13 years, Krishna also doesn't condemn Yudhishthira. He also says that he keeps quiet. But after 13 years also, he is trying to extend the same thing. He said, see, your vow is only for 13 years. Now you cannot extend it. So I see in that light actually.
So the Is it also there ki Raj-Dharma says that if a king is invited for gambling or for a challenge for a war, they should not refuse? Is it there,
It is there,
Swamiji?
Swamiji. In dharmas it is also pointed out, when you are invited to play, you should play.
But second time when they go, is it not they can say ki this is an exceptional situation and we will not come? Only because of he wants to avoid the war, so he goes.
Swamiji, that is how I see it. Otherwise, I don't think that Yudhishthira is so attached to gambling, all that. And he is all said and done. He is master. He knew all the dharma.
Sometimes we say also that he was attached to dharma itself. That what is written there, ki they should not, king should not avoid the invitation. So he went, and that is the fall of.
That may be a part, but this exclusively, I see the whole thing only in the light
From
of
this
that
verse.
vow which he takes in front of the Vyasa.
Yeah.
Even when nothing works out, then he is finally he is asking even that 5 villages for which Krishna is not. He says, why 5 villages? What is our rights? That only we should ask. Krishna was ready to settle with only that 5 villages. But then he goes to that extent, all that. But I see, since he has taken, so I put my whole argument in favor of,
Yudhishthira's vow.
This one I argue in favor of Yudhishthira, because I felt a person who knows everything, all the pros and cons of dharma, probably, dharma also gives opportunities. Swamiji, punishing is one thing. If somebody does a mistake, you can punish him immediately. But then the person will come with the same attitude only, he will be reborn again also. Rather than in our Shastra, it is that you give a chance for that person to reform himself. One is punishing, another one is, at least if he reforms,
Mind has changed.
The transformation is a chance. Probably he knew all the dharma sukshmas also. He thought at one point of time, at least we will give them an opportunity. This is how I take the side of Yudhishthira. Only on that, but if that verse is not there, that verse clearly, end of the verse says, keeping all this in mind, he became one with Kali.
Oh.
That verse says that taking this vow, he identified with Kali. That means what? He is going to gamble. It is said he is voluntarily, willingly identified with Kali. So he becomes, the Yudhishthira became one with Kali. It is written in Mahabharata. So one of the Kali's effect is gambling.
Gambling, yes.
So it's not out of any
attachment.
That's what I see.
One place just before the war, Swamiji, like how Arjun becomes overwhelmed by attachment, Yudhishthira is also doubting whether we should take a war or not. At that time, it seems Kunti says that if a woman is insulted and Bhagwan is not respected, then the duty of the Kshatriya is to fight and save that society from adharma. And so Yudhishthira understands, and she also says that time that the reason why a Kshatrani gives birth to a son is for this, to protect dharma.
There is a story, that Vidula story also. There is a great Vidula, that's a great woman. His son also, he doesn't want to fight. He becomes, like that. Then Vidula gives lot of upadesham to son. All that is told by Kunti also. So
this thought process, why did this not apply in the game of dice when Draupadi was being humiliated? Why did Pandavas as Kshatriyas, even if they were, lost in the gambling, that game of dice, they could have broken that lower dharma to protect the honor of Draupadi, because as Kshatriyas, that is what they had to do, no, Swamiji. They should have immediately fought against them or, prevented this from happening. Why did they all become quiet there?
Swamiji, if you ask this question, Dharmaputra lost everything in that gambling. See, they all, Bhima gets angry all the day. End of the day, Vyasa Bhagavan repeatedly told, as long as you are all together, then only you can, if at any cause, due to Draupadi or any other cause, if you start fighting If some division happens among yourself, then you will lose. These incidences are all there in Mahabharata. It is not that he didn't want to protect Draupadi or anything.
That is there,
But
Swami.
this is keeping this war. I always say that keeping that war in the mind, in the longer run, what is going to happen? They say that the immediate humiliation. See, Draupadi enjoyed. See, when all enjoyment is there, she was part of them. So when they are also undergoing humiliation, she is also part of that humiliation, because if Draupadi is not humiliated, Swamiji, anyway, they are all, this war is inevitable. One day or other, they knew this is going to happen. See, what is going to happen is one thing, Swamiji. Even if you know this is what going to happen, this is what destined to happen, still we are told, Dharma Shastra says, man has to put forth his own
Self-effort.
efforts to stop it, so that much later nobody will blamed. No, here the idea is they are trying to reform them. They are only trying to bridge a kind of a unity among the brother. They tried. So going to 13 years Vanavasa, even Ajnatavasa, see, these are all only they tried somewhere at some point of time. That is the Dharma has given time. Immediately punishing all that is our idea, Swamiji.
So when they go for Vanavas, Swamiji, that time it is said that Draupadi is very angry with Yudhishthira, and she also, speaks some things which are not to be spoken, and Yudhishthira still remains calm at that point in time. What is that conversation, Swamiji? Why does she? What does she want him to do? Does she want him to immediately go and attack them?
That's what she was very furious. He said, no, she uses very harsh words to the extent. He goes to the extent and says that you are not even a man. All that he says, and she
says
will
to
speak
Yudhishthira
like an atheist. He said, I don't believe in God, I don't believe in anything. See, immediately you should, then at the time he says, see, I have taken, this is the dharma I have lost. I have agreed to undergo this 12 years exile. And one, I say, I'm just following my dharma. Dharma eva manak Krishna. If I remember, there is one sloka is there. Dharma eva manak Krishna. My mind always abides only in dharma. Dharma vanijyakaha hinamaha. The one who trades with dharma, among the dharmavadis, he is said to be the lowest person. So now I am following certain dharma. So I don't want to react immediately. I don't want to be in a haste. I know all this injustice has been done. Everything is known. But all said and done, if all this could stop that war, I will go to any extent, any amount of humiliation. I will follow only this dharma. I will see.
So going by this vow, Swamiji, is it not also that one of the reasons why after that 13 years when they are not returned the kingdom, they are sending Shanti Doot so that they don't want a war to happen. But then is it not also that then they are compromising with Adharma? Suppose Duryodhana has given 5 kingdoms as per Krishna Bhagwan's request there. Then is it not that Adharma still has happened? Because all the insult of Draupadi, everything, nothing is avenged. As well as whatever Kauravas have done, those injustices and attempt on their life, everything is just brushed under the carpet. And then what kind of Kshatriyas they are, because then they have not retaliated or anything, and that way any oppressor can do anything to anybody and exploit them, and then the person who has been the victim finally says, okay, I settle for this.
Swamiji, when Yudhishthira requests Krishna to go for that samadhanam, that doot, Krishna says that I will go. But Krishna is at that time itself, see, Krishna's mind is very clear. Krishna clearly says that he will not ask for 5 villages and all. He will not settle with the villages. See, that is only the idea of Dharmaputra. But already Krishna has taken a different standpoint in his own mind. See, this still he was, he tried to stretch everything. See, finally also he does one stupid act to Yudhishthira. There I will literally condemn Yudhishthira. Finally also it happens. But here he says that I will go. I will tell what you asked me to ask, but then I will not settle with that 5 villages and all. Tomorrow the world should not say that Krishna was showing interest in this war. Krishna instigated everybody. World will not blame me. So I will
Do what you
also
are saying.
do my Purushartha. He says, I am also not God. He'll say that.
Oh,
I will put my Purushartha. I will earnestly. But he says that you try anything,
you cannot avoid
this
it.
fellow is not going to listen. He tells that he will not give anything. War is going to be the outcome. But still you are asking me to try. I say that nothing harm in trying. This is one. So he already knew their minds. Second, if they had given as promised the entire kingdom to them, then whatever the humiliation, all that they have underwent, all that cannot be justified by Yudhishthira, because he only played, gambled. Because of that, then that becomes part of
Nullified.
gambling. No, only 5 villages. Probably that is only the idea of Dharmaputra only. Arjuna also would not have probably got settled with that compromise. Even Krishna would not have, he would have certainly demanded the kingdom. If they have accepted only just 5 villages and settling that, Dharmaputra would have expect, even that stops the war, that big war stops. Then these people will be doing they will continue their adharma act. Then who will destroy them? So war would have broken up. That way war would have happened. So they were just waiting for him to totally refuse everything. So once that is refused, then their side of waging war becomes completely justified. They were waiting up to that point.
But anyway, they didn't wage the war. This Duryodhan only said that land not even dropped by needle.
For that decision,
that point to come.
That point to come. See that one dot, he says, no, where even the needle, the tip of the needle. See, after the tip of the needle, they were waiting. See, that is the time. Dharma, that is he said Dharma Putra, so therefore I don't see him as an individual. So that is the time, 13 years time, which Dharma has given for Duryodhana to change. Then therefore it is said in our life also we commit so many mistakes. We are not punished immediately. Not everybody is punished. So that means there is a system in human this one where if the person does it, so he is given some opportunity
to transform.
If he transcends that, then naturally, finally, the inevitable they have to face.
One of the objections raised, Swamiji, is that when Pandavas have take Draupadi and they have also done adharma. So the war is finally, it's not that Pandavas have never done anything wrong and Kauravas are doing adharma. Pandavas have also staked themselves, their people, everything else, and then humiliation of Draupadi happened. So the war, how is it between dharma and adharma, Swamiji? Is it not a war between, maybe we can say lesser adharma and more adharma?
Swamiji, I have clarified my standpoint very clearly. All the act of Dharmaputra, I am not on the side of gambling, all that. I am not encouraging gambling. I am not justifying all that. But the 13 years that vow which he took, because of that he has done everything. That is the strength of his character. So otherwise, that entire Dharmaputra character, you cannot justify if you say that he gambled voluntarily, because of them he staked his brother's wife, all that. If it then means, we cannot call him as Dharmaputra at all. So then that character loses the weight. Then Dharma itself becomes questionable. So
Pandavas, we can say, did a mistake, but they, in that sense, when they have done gambling in that sense, but the intention was to prevent the war.
This is only my standpoint, Swamiji, based on the vow he has taken. Now, many people think that I argue like a lawyer for Yudhishthira. But after 13 years, when he extended, where Krishna himself gets so much angry with Dharmaputra, Krishna doesn't want Dharmaputra to interfere in anything. There in my talks also, I have criticized Dharmaputra a lot because Dharma is also a Purushartha only. It can also have its own limitations. Dharma is not the supreme Purushartha. Above Dharma, there is one Moksha Purushartha. For that, Lord alone, sole property for that Moksha Purushartha. So, compared to Artha and Kama, Mahabharata says Dharma is any day better. For the sake of Dharma, you can give up Artha also, you can give up Kama also. Suppose Draupadi and all his brothers, entire his wealth, all that you keep it as Dharma, Artha and Kama. In order to protect the Dharma, we can say that, see, he sacrificed all that only to retain Dharma. Then Dharma is also becomes valuable. That character has a weight. Yudhishthira character has a weight. But if that vow is not taken, only his gambling is, we take only that part. Then if you blame completely Yudhishthira, then Dharma itself becomes questionable. That character loses weight there itself. Then you cannot look up to Dharmaputra at all. There is no point in reading Yaksha Prashna. There is no point in reading Shanti Parva also. Then what is the use of going and asking all the dharmas to Bhishmacharya and other? See, one justification, I don't even therefore call it as mistake also. For me, if you ask me, I said it is a sacrifice. I say it is a sacrifice in a larger picture. But after that, if he starts, even one point I would like to say, Swamiji, he extends, when all the war is over, so many people have lost their life. And this fellow goes and hides in
Duryodhana hides in the lake.
In that lake. When he comes out, he tells that you choose any one of us.
Yudhishthira is saying to Duryodhana.
Yudhishthira tells this to Duryodhana. You choose any one of us, and whichever weapon you want, you take that weapon and you fight with us. Suppose if you win, we will give back all our kingdom. If we lose, see, this I call it a stupidity. So Dharma has its own limits. Now our Gurudev also used to high-handedness should be met only with high-handedness. That means you cannot justify terrorist act also. Then that means you are going in line with, see, your Dharma has taken the side of the terrorism. Then such country will become so weak and you will become, you lose everything. That is not Dharma. That is weakness. See, until that point, I always justify Dharmaputra saying that it is not a weakness. Beyond that point, if you do anything, if you put ahimsa at stake and you all the time say ahimsa, 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 only you follow ahimsa, the other fellow is not willing to follow ahimsa, then ahimsa, you don't put your ahimsa on country.
You do individually.
Ahimsa is an individual quality. You practice ahimsa, but you have no right to put that ahimsa on the country. There, that he has done so much adharma. Finally, suppose he says he invites you, he calls you, and he takes gada. What will happen? Then Krishna interferes. He says, step aside. He uses such harsh words towards Yudhishthira, Krishna. He says, you have no business. You step out. He takes over. Krishna takes over. That's what Dharma is also not the highest Purushartha. So up to one point only I take, because keeping that character and Dharma, up to one point only we can appreciate. Beyond that point, whatever Yudhishthira said, all this asking for 5 villages, asking Duryodhana to choose someone. See, all these things are act of Duryodhana. Even personally, I am not on his side.
So coming to Ahimsa, Swamiji, the choice that Bhagavan Krishna gave to Arjun, that on one hand will be his Narayani Sena, and one hand he will be there, but he will not lift weapons. What is the reason why he took that choice? Why will he, as a Kshatriya, and when there's a war between Dharma and Adharma, why is he saying, I will not lift weapons?
Swamiji, in that war, one simple thing is there was no need for him to kill anyone. Because it is all who is going to kill anybody, who is going to kill whom is all. See, it is all, they have already taken all the vows. It is not that being a Kshatriya, he did not escape from the battlefield.
But he's
He
not
became
doing.
see, it is a duty of the Kshatriya. He can become a charioteer also, like how Salya became a charioteer for Karna. So he was ready to do Saratyam.
But that is because Arjun chose him as a Sarathi, Swamiji. But as an individual, as a king, he's a king of the Yadavas. How can he say that I will not lift weapons? My army will be there, but I will not lift weapon, because that's his individual choice. But he is not only an individual there; he is a king.
Swamiji, when it is required, he did lift, Swamiji.
That is only to teach Bhishma, and he lifted that chakra.
He felt there was his presence itself, Swami. Sometimes, Swamiji, the strategy is more important. Because
that I understand,
war strategy, everything was.
It came from Krishna.
Is all done only by Krishna. Where to place the weapon, where to place all that. So he felt when Nara is there, the Narayana need not to take a weapon. So
but that way he has killed so many others, Swamiji, and he has fought so many wars.
In that particular war, he has said that I will do only Saratyam. In order to, he stand. Now, Balarama did not wage
exactly,
war
and he fires Balarama for that at the end when
but
Balarama.
Balarama is also Kshatriya, but then he doesn't participate in the war itself.
He went away for Saraswati Nadi Yatra.
He goes, even Vidura is also did not participate in the war. See, that is individual choice, Swamiji. Whether to take weapon or not is an individual choice. But then, because of that, he is also made his intentions very clear. I have taken this personal vow. There also he is teaching. I am taking a personal vow. But if dharma, if it is required for that, if I have to break my vow, I am ready to break that vow also. So the individual vow is not greater than protecting the
dharma
country. So that is also a lesson. No, he is ready to take that ego or individuality is not there. He's made it very clear.
Suppose Arjun had chosen the Narayani Sena, just hypothetically, and Krishna would have been in Kaurava's side without lifting weapons.
This will not.
What would he have done, Swamiji?
This will not happen. This will not happen at all. Because there is a clear sloka. Eto dharma tato Krishna. Eto Krishna tato jaya.
But that's what would have happened. So dharma.
So it is very clear. Adharma will not choose Krishna.
No, but Adharma would need not choose Krishna, but Dharma can choose army, no?
Dharma will not choose Adharma, no.
No, army. That is Narayana Sena.
Dharma will choose always Krishna only, no. Because there was Pandava side, Dharma is there. Because Arjuna mind will not deviate from Dharma. Dharma will always choose only the Lord, Swamiji. It is not the material of the Lord, Dharma will not choose. If it is Lord, if you want my wealth or you want me, the real original Dharma is a devotee also.
Is a devotee.
A devotee will choose, if a Lord appears, you want all the lokas, you want me. Certainly the devotee will choose only the Lord. So at any cost, Arjuna would not have made wrong choice. Even if the whole thing goes against, he would have chosen Krishna.
Swamiji, Bhishma, should he not have gone against Dhritarashtra long back to prevent the war? Like what Yudhishthira is trying to do to prevent the war, Krishna is trying to do. So many people have tried to do, Swamiji. Bhishma, being so much anchored in knowledge and dharma, etc., should he not have told Dhritarashtra so clearly that there is nothing doing, you don't allow this war to happen. You give the kingdom, and whether Duryodhan likes it or not.
Swamiji, his standpoint is kingdom belongs to them. Kingdom belongs to them. He is there only as a caretaker. He is there only to. These are small things I will come. And he repeatedly advises them. See, all that happens, he advises them that we should not, he advises in favor of Pandavas, all that. But in the end, Swamiji, one sloka, he confesses to Yudhishthira. Finally, he confesses. He says, Arthasya daso purushaha.
Artho dasana kasyachit.
Artho dasaha kasyachit. Idi satyam maharaja. And kauravehi arthena badhyatena. See, that one sloka clearly indicates, like one sloka, there probably he has expressed all his weakness, that he was bound by their comforts.
Loyalty for them.
See, even Salya had to fight because he took some comfort from them. Duryodhana, then Salya had to fight. Then he confesses it. But he tells all that, but then he doesn't directly interfere with their decisions. He is not the decision-making authority, because the decision-making authority is only the king. So that's what he fights for them. But finally he confesses. Arthasya dasa purusha is very powerful shloka.
There is one line which is very often quoted about ahimsa, Swamiji. Ahimsa paramo dharma. And then the next half is joined to that saying dharma himsa tathaivacha. Is that shloka there in Mahabharata, Swamiji?
There is one shloka, ahimsa paramo dharma is there. I don't know about the second part. Ahimsa paramo dharma is this shloka is quoted by Shamika Rishi to his son, that Shringi. When he curses Parikshit Maharaj, he said that he is a king, you should not. See, we are all tapasvins. For us, ahimsa paramo dharma, in that context it comes. But many places about the emphasis on individual ahimsa comes at many places in Mahabharata. Maybe.
Even I read in the Mahabharata, it is said that in Shanti Parva itself, Bhishma, when he is talking to Yudhishthira, it is interesting, I understood from that Bhishma is a strong proponent of vegetarianism, Swamiji. And in that context also, he is telling to Yudhishthira that a Brahmana has to follow ahimsa, and why ahimsa is so important, and he is talking in the context of vegetarianism there.
See, even in Bhagavad Gita also, Swamiji, when Lord gives Upadesha to Arjuna, there also ahimsa
comes.
Ahimsa comes. That is more of...
No, because this line, the second half, is utilized to say that the Mahabharata war was to protect dharma. Like that, if we have to protect dharma and we have to fight,
that
then we should fight.
No, Swamiji. Fighting against himsa is ahimsa. No?
Correct. So people are misunderstanding ahimsa paramo dharma as ahimsa is only non-violence, but individually if you apply, collectively also we have applied and our country has suffered.
Swamiji, there is something called general dharma, samanya dharma is there. Swadharma is there. Swarupa dharma is there. You can differentiate these dharmas. What is in Samanya Dharma, ahimsa is generally told only in Samanya Dharma. But Swadharma is greater than Samanya Dharma. In Swadharma, you have to fight.
Kshatriya has to fight.
Then you have to follow only Swadharma. What is applicable in Samanya Dharma? You should not kill anybody. But then when it comes to you have to kill your enemy, then Swadharma is greater than Samanya Dharma. So we cannot apply Samanya Dharma rules in Swadharma. Then if somebody goes for Swarupa Dharma, then you cannot talk to him about Swadharma. So the Dharma also has gradation.
Now we come to the war specifically, Swamiji. Always it is said that Pandavas finally won because of the cunning tactics or manipulation done by Sri Krishna. And they used adharma only finally to win the war of dharma. And so finally what has won is actually adharma which has won and not dharma. And the examples given are Drona's, how he was killed by telling him a lie, how Karna was killed when his chariot wheel was stuck, or how Duryodhana has been hit on his thigh. So how do we explain this one? Or even Bhishma was killed by putting Shikhandi.
Only for anything, Krishna himself says, anything I do, I am always blamed. But then if you take this war, first 10 days, the war when he was leading, a Kshatriya was leading the war. Only when a Brahmana started leading the war, all the problems started. I openly I'll tell, because his dharma is different. All said and done, he may be a great, but then his nature, Dronacharya, by nature, there is a Brahmanatva is there. Now when Bhishmacharya was fighting, things were going properly. Where Adharma started, now Swamiji, if there are terrorists are fighting, now we have to destroy the terrorist. That is more important. Now if they are not following any dharma, if you ask that only we have to follow dharma, the other person, opponent, doesn't follow dharma, then war becomes, then it is not a war. In a war, whatever the opponent, whatever the strategies he follows, you supposed to follow that only. Now, where Krishna made all this, now as far as Dronacharya is killing, coming to the point, Swamiji. Bhishmacharya, see, before the war started itself, they knew that it is difficult to kill Bhishma. It is difficult to kill Dronacharya. So Yudhishthira goes to them along with his brothers. He is seeking their permission, because I don't know how to kill you. Because with our own efforts, unless you give up, we cannot kill you. Therefore, you yourself, tell us the Vadopaya of yourself. At that time, Bhishma says, now I won't tell. Appropriate time when it comes, I will. You come and ask me. When right time comes, I myself will tell. That is what on 9th day or something, when they go, he says that now I have already resigned mentally. Now you all can't kill me directly. The only thing is you keep Shikhandi in front of me. That is told by Bhishma only. Bhishma only gives permission. And Drona, in the beginning itself, he says that if you fight against me, you cannot win over me. He says that anybody comes and says an apriya word, a word which I don't like to, that a word which I doesn't like to hear, that too from a trustworthy person. If he comes and tells, I will keep my weapons down. So then alone you can kill me. He also gives his all secrets about the method of which he can be killed.
Is it said, Swamiji, that Dronacharya, the way he was fighting, finally Devatas come and tell him, what are you doing? And this is going to...
Swamiji. Even Bhishma trespassed, Krishna got angry. Because these people, it is a human war. They are not supposed to... That's what Krishna says. If you invoke your weapons, all the Devata
divine weapons.
If I invoke Sudarshan Chakra, what it will happen? In 1 minute, this war will end. Am I not abiding by Dharma? So where they have also, even last day, Dronacharya also invokes all that, and he kills so many innocent people by invoking all that
divine
weapons. That's what Krishna is asking him. Now you tell the way in which he wanted to get killed, we will kill him in that way only. Otherwise, he would have killed. Krishna would have taken the weapon. He would have killed. I have no doubt about all these things.
Right.
He did. And when it comes, they blame all these people who blame for Dronacharya, Karna. Where they went when Abhimanyu was killed? It was started by whom?
So the war rules broke after the Abhimanyu's killing. Till then they were following.
They were following. Then they started fighting in the night also. They supposed to stop with the sunset. But that Gatotkaja, that if you see that the 13th day or something, the war went on when the Dronacharya took his reign, because they killed Abhimanyu. 7 people, Kritavarma, Ashwatthama, Drona, Karna, Kripacharya, Duryodhana, Duchosana, 7 people surrounding. At least in the case of what Adharma he did, at least in case of killing Karna and Dronacharya, there is a lot of Adharma involved in their character. They deserve that kind of a punishment. They should not be killed normally. They deserve it. Because Dronacharya kept quiet even in that Sabha. When Draupadi, he is an Acharya. He is supposed to have raised his voice. See, Dharma we should not take only at
only
that
in that
period,
one point
Swamiji.
in time. It is.
Usually we should take that quantum.
Correct.
That character, we should say that. One reason I will go, people don't agree. He kept quiet because she was Drupada Putri.
Yes.
If it is Ashwatthama's wife, if some other lady, do you think that Dronacharya would have kept quiet? One reason for, I feel personally, I may be wrong. But as a common man, I suspect because Drupada Putra, he kept quiet. Because Drupada he was insulted by Drupada.
And that is strange because he got back the kingdom of Drupada also in Guru Dakshina. He returned it. He humiliated Drupada also, and still he is holding Dvesha against him.
Dvesha against him. That why? At least he could have raised his voice. At least he could have walked out. Only Vikarna spoke. In the war also, Bhima will, he will say that Vikarna, I don't want to kill you. You are such a nice person. Vidura walked out. Only two people walked out. The Krishna said, I don't spare any of these people because they don't deserve. Swamiji, sometimes we should not go by names. We just say that okay, they have done mistake, they have done.
They have done.
And they have a young 16-year-old boy, young boy. He was completely disarmed behind. This is what when people who support Karna, when Karna wheels got stuck on the ground, Krishna asked Arjuna to. At that time, he will talk about this is not dharma. He will say there are 9 points Krishna tells to
Arjuna. Karna himself.
Karna himself.
Yes, yes.
You are giving a pravachan about dharma now. I will give you 9 places. All these places you have not followed dharma. See, when it comes to you, you want us to follow dharma. When it comes to all other people, you don't want it to follow dharma. These are all the 9 places you flattered from dharma. And you see, you tell me now, you teach me now about dharma that I should kill you in a dharmic way. You don't deserve to be killed in a dharmic way. I can give 9 points, Swamiji. One by one I can tell. He is starting from, see, you are the first person to ask Draupadi, Duryodhana to disrobe Draupadi. Is it dharma? And you asked in front of everybody, you have lost all your husbands. You see, go and sit in anybody's lap. You can marry anybody. You uttered this word. Krishna says that. And when one reason is when the Yudhishthira is brought, when Duryodhana wants to play with Shakuni, you should have told Duryodhana, this is not dharma. If a king is called, then you should only play. At the time, you accepted Shakuni to play, and you all cheated a person who doesn't know how to play dice, and you humiliated his brother's wife. You got all kingdom. Okay, I will forgive that. Now, after 13 years, when they underwent all that, they came back. They asked their kingdom what belongs to them. And your friend refused to give him. At that time, you are in whom said, did you tell Duryodhana, no, we are supposed to give? You said, don't give. You are also instigate. See, on your strength only, Duryodhana was doing so many things.
Not even on Bhishma and Drona, actually.
He was not believing, he was not listening to Bhishma or Drona because of you. Because of your one person. See, if I tell all these things,
people think you are against Karna.
There are so many other points are there. Like that 9 points. Now, first Abhimanyu. Who disarmed Abhimanyu? Did you stood in front of Abhimanyu? You went and you are hiding behind the Abhimanyu, and first you are the first person, you disarmed his weapon. Then all other people hit, and you are all watched. Where dharma went? What right do you have to speak about dharma? There are 9 points he tells. Each place he tells, and nowhere you all followed dharma. Suddenly when it comes to your killing, then they blame Krishna. Nowhere Pandavas or Krishna trespassed any dharma in.
Correct.
Whatever the language they spoke, these people spoke in that same language.
And actually it is their karma which catches up with them.
Which is with them. It is with them. They did. That one, no other justification is required except Abhimanyu's incident, Swamiji. With one Abhimanyu incident, everybody can be. Now, Duryodhana only chose to for Gada fight. Yeah. Otherwise, that chance, there was no need for Pandavas to give that choice. They could have killed him there only because he's already gone. But they gave him a choice to fight. At that time also, he says that Bhima says he only jumped. See, when you are playing Gada, who asked you to jump?
Now he must have aimed here, but this guy jumped, so it hit on the thigh.
That's what he says. See, even we need not say that also. Why we should compromise and say all that? He doesn't deserve to be killed in a proper way. See, the amount of
chance given to
cruelty.
him to replace reform also is so much, and cruelty has done is so much
Why
more.
we should justify all the, there is no need to even say and justify. He can be killed, and why we should? We need not be so mild
Correct.
in our approach also, Swamiji.
Swamiji, is it true that for the half truth that Yudhishthira spoke, and when he said Ashwathama Hataha, Narahava Kunjarahava is there, that shloka is there in Mahabharata.
It is there, Swami.
And so for that he had to go through the karmic consequence. Is it there?
Swamiji, there is one sloka in the end, I think in Swarga Arohana Parva, because when he goes to, first he goes to the Swarga, he sees all the Kauravas in Swarga.
Hmm.
And he doesn't see his own brothers
Pandavas.
there. Then he will ask Indra, say, I see all these people, wicked people in Swarga. I thought Swarga means something. All wicked people are, where are my brothers? Then he will tell Duta to take him. Then all his brothers will be there in Naraka.
Naraka.
Then he will lament, I have lost all faith in there.
Dharma.
One shloka it is said. That's what Dharma is very subtle. Suppose, Swamiji, if there is a merit and demerit, a person, a papa is, punya is done by a person, whichever is less,
Will
he
fructify faster.
experiences that first. Suppose he has done little bit of punyam, first he will exhaust that punyam, and whatever the karma done maximum by him, it is experienced later. That way, the only punya Duryodhana done was that he died in the battlefield. So whoever gets killed in battlefield, it is said that they will attain Swarga. So that is called Ishit Punyam. Because of the Ishit Punyam, they first exhaust it. And then they will, afterwards, they will reap their other karmas. In Pandava's case also, it is justified that they kept Bhishmacharya. We say that Bhishmacharya only gave permission, but from the Dharma's angle, Bhishma was killed keeping, Arjuna killed keeping Bhima, Shikandi in front of him. That small, in Guru, they have killed their own Gurus. Even though they are fighting, there is a Dharma Shastra, all that. Even he also said that, till that time, Dharmaputra's chariot did not touch the ground. The shloka is there in Mahabharata. The moment he said Ashwatthama Kunjaraha Hataha, the moment he said his chariot touched the ground.
But the whole
even during the dais and also that is all not adharma, but this one word.
But how is it just understandable, Swamiji? Because the whole intention was to protect dharma only. It was not a personal intent to get some benefit for which a lie is told.
Yeah.
Still, then the Dharma Shastra, if it says ki this, for this you have to reap a consequence, then why will somebody follow dharma at all?
Swamiji, like that, there are so many. It is not only that incident, a small, like killing a guru or that, it is all considered as a dosha, Swamiji. See, Sadoshamapi Karmani in Gita also Krishna says, see, anything you do, some kind of a dosha, a defect gets into a person. So, our Dharma Shastra says these are all the doshas for which anybody does it, they have to just reap the result of it.
Even though the gurus are on the wrong side, because Guru Hatya has happened.
Guru Hatya is happened, then they have to just, that Guru Hatya has to be.
So that way when Ramji goes and he does Tapasya because he has killed Ravana who is a Brahmana, so Brahma Hatya dosha will apply to him.
Dosha they have to do. Brahma Hatya dosha they have to do. So it is there some...
So he finally sees the Pandavas in the hell, but for some time they are there and then they swap places. That's what happens.
Finally, then he sees all of them in their original forms. He sees Draupadi as Mahalakshmi. He sees all that. It is all there.
One thing is always one question. Swamiji, does Mahabharata address it that Dhritarashtra's duty he did not do as a king, and because of that the war happened. He lost his 100 children also, plus 40 lakh people died. What is the karmic consequence of what he has done, Swamiji? Because he is mainly responsible for the war. And why is it that Vedavyasji has told Yudhishthira that he is responsible for the war I mean, the war will happen in 13 years. So Yudhishthira is trying to avoid, and all this has happened. Why did Vedavyasji not go to Dhritarashtra and tell him that this is going to happen? You become alert and you do your duty as a king.
Swamiji, how many times I have been told? No, the entire Viduranidhi was told to him.
That Vidur, etc. has said. So now what is the karmic consequence of that? Dhritarashtra should get no, Swamiji.
Swamiji. It will have its own karmic consequences. But then only one solution for all these karma, Swamiji, what a person realizes it, the mistakes. One is he repents for it. Then he has to undertake enormous tapas. If a person repents all that and he does all that, tapas has all the power to destroy. In the right attitude, it is done. He has to really repent. He should really feel for it. Then all the individuality, everything is done. If the person ultimately does tapas, in that tapas, the karmas are burnt. But then he himself was burnt. He caught up in fire only.
Yes, Swamiji, but that was little, again, I had a question there. Because in Bhagavatam, it is said, after the war is over, Pandavas, they start ruling. And Dhritarashtra, every day he will tell, I want to do this much done, this much cows and this much. And he tries to trouble Yudhishthira, but Yudhishthira keeps supporting him. And Bhim gets very upset and very angry. And why are you still supporting? So he continues to torture the Pandavas in his own way. And finally, Vidur tells him that now we should go, and then they go to forest. And then it is written there that he meditates there. He realizes the truth. And then the body is just burnt in
Swami,
fire. That is very strange, Swamiji.
Purana talks about the importance of the doing the tapas. He talks about. Here actually he has not realized all that. Probably he would have gone to Gandharva Loka. Mahabharata doesn't say that he has realized all that. Karmic consequences will be there, Swamiji. But if his tapas was very intense, if he has gained that knowledge, then all his karmic this one. Otherwise, we also read in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvam Vrajanam Santarishyasi. Then that becomes meaningless, Swamiji. If suppose one realizes afterwards.
But for realizing, he has to go through some purity of mind.
He must have done, Swamiji. Quite a lot of time he spends in forest. He does tapas, but nowhere it is said he has realized the truth gone here and there. He would have.
No, but there is nowhere else.
Previous birth also, Swamiji. He was a Gandharva Raja, something they say that. See, due to some other curse only, he has again born as Dhritarashtra. What will happen, Swamiji? A person will have merit also. He would have acquired a lot of merit also. Some demerit also will be there. So in previous birth, all the merits are there. That will stay intact. In one birth, some demerit act, they will say what he has gone through is also torture only, Swamiji. That life is not a peaceful life at all, if you see. If you see whole life of Dhritarashtra life, not just losing his eyes, there was no peace at all.
That is true.
He was already living only in hell. See, that is ignorance. He's an embodiment of ignorance. But with that, finally, all that he heard, Bhishma telling, Vidura telling, somewhere it was there. But then when everything is lost, when all that karma, the people whom he was attached, probably when, see, some people, they, get that when they lose everything and then they probably, that is their karma. It's the best example, the Dhritarashtra is how the karma works is the example.
So, one question here we have, Swamiji, is that when the war is over, I mean, just when Duryodhana is to be, he has been hit on his thigh and he is lying about to die. It is said that he looks at Yudhishthira and he laughs and he says that, I am going to die and I will go to Swarga and you have to rebuild the whole society and this whole war. Was it even worth it? Now you have to struggle. Is it any such thing mentioned in the Mahabharata, Swamiji?
I don't find any such verses. I don't remember, Swamiji. But even if he says that, how does it matter? Suppose even if he says it is only meaningless, it is not going to have any consequences on what is going to happen. That is his theory. Say like a Charvaka's theory only, like atheist theory that I have done all that. So what? Ultimately, he is punished for all his act. He is ripped of all his power, everything. He may say anything, but I don't find an.
But the argument given is that Pandavas led a life of dharma. They struggled throughout. Then they fought the war. They lost all their people, and again later on also they are only going to struggle to rebuild dharma. Why will anybody follow dharma then when the whole life is struggle and this Duryodhan has led peaceful, comfortable life in the forest, in the palace? Yes, internally he may not have been at peace, but externally he has everything. And finally, the war also happened, and he just died. For him, it's very easy exit. He is gone. These people, from birth to end, everything is struggle for dharmic people.
If you take the creation as a whole, in that one particular period of time in creation, the adharmic force has to be completely wiped out. You see, the number of adharmic people died during that period. If you take in the entire time of creation, where dharmas were followed, all that people lived. See, this one particular period that way it is only a small period. And Pandavas came only to bear all this because no one else can bear that kind of that needs enormous.
Karana Janma,
so only Pandavas had that kind of a capacity to go through what they underwent, Swamiji. No other ordinary person would have not gone through. That paved way again to re-establish dharma. The society is like that. There will be always dharma. That's what we say. This whole creation itself is not why we say this real, because there will be dharma will be established. Again, what will be there? Adharma will come. Then these things will. This is the part of this creation.
So Bhagwan Krishna's avatar itself, when we see, and so many adharmic kings died and killed. But when Bhagwan departs, Kali Yuga starts.
It will start.
And so again, some people even question that Bhagwan Krishna's avatar itself is not successful because when he left, again Kali Yuga started.
It is not. We can't say that, Swamiji, because it would have helped so many souls to evolve. See, end of the day, Swamiji, this creation is meant for evolution. Even all those Rakshasas, Asuras, they also will evolve. See, this creation, the creation is not the final solution, but it would have, so many people got salvation during Krishna's time. Even after Krishna's time, even today, if you are devoted to Krishna, a person gets. So that avatara will never go waste, Swamiji. Correct. The impact of that avatara will be there. We can't measure success only from just that because span. Kali will come. Probably Kali became more helpful because of Krishna. Now in Kali we need not do so much. They say so much tapasya. Even the Namasparana will do, but that Lord paved easy way for the jivas in the Kali, so that he came before and went. In Kali he becomes the savior. So that way also we can see.
To conclude, Swamiji, any specific things that you would like to say? The main message of Mahabharata, how should we approach it and learn from it?
I personally feel, let people read the original. I urge everyone to read the original. And it has so many subtleties in it. So we cannot convince people. Every theory of Mahabharata cannot be we can give convincing answers for them. But there is a Shanti Parva is there. There is Anusasana Parva is there. That's what, Swamiji, after reading all, we are asked to read Mahabharata from Shanti Parva. Actually, we are told not to start from Adi Parva also for some great people. Because the main essence of Mahabharata is only Shanti Parva. In Shanti Parva, there is a Moksha Dharma Parva is there. So Mahabharata is meant for only salvation. See, if this Shanti Parva, if this Moksha Dharma Parva is not followed, what will be the consequences? That is told in all other Parvas.
Wonderful.
First read Shanti Parva. Then if you follow Shanti Parva, then you need not read rest of the Mahabharata at all. Because the idea of Mahabharata is only the Shanti is the you read Shanti Parva, you follow Shanti Parva. But if you don't follow Shanti Parva, rest all only Ashanti Parvas only. So we are told to read Shanti Parva, then end read. Then even if you read all Parvas, again we are told to read only Shanti Parva. In that Moksha Dharma Parva. So Mahabharata, the aim of Mahabharata is not about this war. See, we just always get lost only in this war, whether Bhishma is great, Drona is great, we get into all these characters. We just get lost in all unnecessaries. And because it is all, quoted with all stories. But the purpose of Mahabharata is not all that, Swamiji. The purpose of Mahabharata is not all these stories. Even if they read only Shanti Parva, the goal of human being is beautifully told that this is your goal. If you follow that, then we need not discuss all these things, Swamiji. Now we have discussed all these things because people have so many questions in their mind. But all these are redundant. This is not the theme of Mahabharata at all. The theme of Mahabharata is Shanti Parva. We can have some podcast separately on Shanti Parva. See, end of the day, what we are aiming is only Shanti. They are not discovered the Shanti there. Therefore, this much commotion. If you don't discover Shanti, how much commotion externally happened is what other Parvas they tell us. Actually, therefore, the main, I urge everyone, personally also, I feel, we should read Shanti Parva. Swamiji, so when we read the original, you had mentioned a few names earlier, Kisari Mohan Ganguly, and are there commentaries also which we can read to understand the subtleties like how you are explaining? Because if we read the original alone, we may not be able to understand fully. So any specific commentaries would you recommend, Swamiji? There is a Neelakanta has written a commentary. Nobody has translated in English. I have started it. Oh. Sanskrit. Maybe in Sanskrit it is there. Maybe another in 8 years it might take. But I am attempting. Wonderful. I have started to translate the entire Neelakanta commentary for Mahabharata. Studying Mahabharata itself is very difficult, but to study commentary for Neelakanta, it is very. But then I have just started it. I am not very ambitious, but I started. There is original Sanskrit commentary. Neelakanta's commentary is there, mostly on. He may not have commented on all these characters, all that. Probably it is a lot of more of the word. Now the Vaishampayana word is taken and it is commented. How that word Vaishampayana comes, like etymological. Then a lot of Vedantic perspective for Mahabharata is given there. Probably if somebody is interested to study deeply in Mahabharata, but otherwise they can study as it is. They can observe it, they can try to understand it, and then it will reveal. Thank you very much, Swamiji. It was very enlightening and many new facets we came to know. And I hope we are inspired by the Itihasa Mahabharata. We are inspired to read the original and more inspired to live the dharmic way of life and finally attain Shanti and Mukti. Hari Om. Jai Shri Krishna.